Hey guys, in this video we're going to work through how to use Excel to create a frequency table, a column graph, and a pie chart. We have an example ready for us. We're apparently counting the number of cars of different colors at, say, the parking lot for a mall. So once you have your categories and your counts for each category, the first thing you need to do is you need to know how many total, in this case, cars we're dealing with. So we want to hit equals and sum, open parentheses, and highlight all of your categories. Then you can close parentheses and you'll have the total number that you're dealing with. Now we need that total because we have to use it to find our relative frequencies. Relative frequencies are percents, so they equal the individual frequency divided by the total. Now, since I want to drag this formula down or copy it down, I need to anchor that total. Now, remember, to anchor something, you hit F4. We can hit enter and then take that formula and copy it down to the rest of the categories. Now, right now, I have my percents in decimal form. If I want them in percent form, I can highlight them and choose from my drop down up here, percentage. Now, to double check that I did my work correctly, I want to sum up those percents because they should all add to a total of 100% if we did our work correctly. Looks good. Next, we need to do a cumulative frequency. This is basically just a running total. So the first one is always going to equal just the first frequency. Then after that, what you need to do is you need to take the previous total and you add the new amount that you have from the next category. Once you have that formula, again, you can grab that corner and drag it down to the last category, and it will compute a running total for you. To double check that you did your work right, you should look for this total and the last cumulative frequency to be the same number. If they are, more than likely you did your work right. So that's really all there is to doing a frequency table. Now, you can also take your frequency information and create graphs. If we want a column graph, the first thing we have to do is highlight our first two categories. So we want the categories and we want the frequencies. Notice I did not highlight the total, so you should never highlight a total when you're trying to make a graph. Now once you have that highlighted, you can go to Insert, and let's do the column graph first. We want the basic two-dimensional column graph. Now notice it puts it right in the middle of our screen and it makes it kind of big. So I'm going to move it a little bit out of the way. I'm also going to make it a little bit smaller so that it fits a little nicer. I also personally think it looks a little better if I give it a dark background. The other thing we need to remember with our column graphs is that we need labels on the axes. So up here in our chart layouts, if you hit the down arrow, you have more layouts. We want to choose the one that has the labels on everything. So for this axis title, I would probably just call it color. And for this one, it is the frequency. And I would rename this something like colors of cars at the mall. So this shows everything that you need to have when you are doing a column graph. You need to have an overall title, a label for the x-axis, and a label for the y-axis. The legend over here is optional, so if you like it, you can leave it. If you want to turn it off, then you can come to Layout, and under Legend, you can choose None. And then that'll make the graph a little bit bigger. Might be easier to read that way. So now that we've made our column graph, the last thing we need to do is make our pie chart. To make the pie chart, you start the same way. Highlight those first two columns. Do not highlight the total. Insert and choose the pie chart. We want, again, the basic two-dimensional pie chart. So again, it puts it right in the middle of our screen, makes it kind of big. I'm going to give it that dark background again. I'm also going to make it a little smaller. drag it over here so that it's kind of out of our way so that we can see everything at once. All right, next I want to have the percents shown on my chart. So in these chart layouts, you want to choose the one that puts the name and the percent both on the wedges. So if you click that, it does it automatically for us. I would change the name again, probably the same name as the last one. So colors of cars at the mall. And then we are done with our pie chart. So that's really all there is to a frequency table, a column graph, and a pie chart using Excel. So I hope that helps you guys out, and look for other videos. Thanks. Bye.